Hi, I'm Pat Zietlow, and I have a book out with Melissa Croughton called In Our Garden. And it's about a girl who comes to the US from another country, and she misses the garden she had on her rooftop back home. So she works with her school and her neighborhood to create a rooftop garden at her school. It's a book about possibilities. It's a book about blooming where you're planted. And one of the things that the main character, Millie, says in the book is they see what is, I see what could be, I see a garden. So it's all about looking at your reality and thinking what could be better. And I have to say, in full disclosure, even though I wrote a book about a garden, I am a terrible gardener. Anything I try to grow dies. I can't keep houseplants alive. But for some reason, the themes of gardening and growth and new life end up in a lot of my books. And so I started thinking about what other books are out there about gardens that might pair really well with In Our Garden. And I have a stack that I want to talk to you about today. The first one is one of my all-time favorite picture books. It's called Wandas Roses. It was written by Pet Garden and illustrated by Marianne Coca Leffler. And it's a story about a girl named Wanda who sees an empty lot in her neighborhood that's full of junk and trash. And she thinks it ought to be a rose garden. And so she cleans it up and she starts watering the thorn bushes that are there. And she is convinced that roses are going to grow. Her neighbors are concerned because they know that bush isn't a rose bush. And then the whole community comes together and embraces Wanda's dream and brings roses and turns the empty lot into a wonderful rose garden, just the way that Wanda had hoped. Another one I want to talk about is a newer book. This is called Gwendolyns Pet Garden. And it's about a girl named Gwendolyn who wants a pet very much. And her parents are not down with that idea. They don't want a pet at all. And so in an effort to distract Gwendolyn, they give her a plot of dirt and say, hey, you can take care of this. And so Gwendolyn isn't really psyched at first. There's a page in here where she sees the dirt for the first time. And Gwendolyn says, it smells of swamp. And her parents respond, it smells of possibilities. So it's got that same kind of theme as my book of looking at something that might not seem all that impressive right off the bat and seeing what it could become. And so Gwendolyn embraces the journey, plants flowers and names them, and soon is quite happy with her brand new garden. I also have Thank You Garden by Liz Garten Scanlon, illustrated by Simone Shen. And it is a book about a neighborhood that creates a garden on the ground, not on a rooftop like in my book, but on the ground. But it's very much the same in terms of what they create. And then, as it says, they're thankful for soil and sun, for friends and fun. Thank you, garden. And then there's a classic, The Gardener by Sarah Stewart and David Smalls. It was a Caldecott Honor winner for the illustrations. And it's a book told in letters from a girl named Lydia Grace Finch. And she has to leave her home and go and live with her uncle because her family isn't doing well. Her dad lost his job. Her mom's not getting any work. And so she gets on a train, travels far away to live with the uncle she's never met before. And Lydia is a gardener. And so she starts out with flower boxes, and then she puts plants in broken teacups and bent cake pans. But then she discovers, kind of like my character Millie does, that the apartment she's in has a great flat roof. And she ends up turning that flat roof into a beautiful, gorgeous garden for herself, and then also for her uncle, who was nice enough to let her come and stay. And that's kind of what happens in my book too. Millie and her friends at school get the whole community involved, and pretty soon there's a gorgeous garden full of red and orange and green and white with enough food to feed themselves and everyone in the community. Plus, it's just a great way of connecting people and promoting togetherness. So whether you're like me and can't grow anything, or whether you're one of those people who has plants flourishing all around you, I hope that you like In Our Garden. I hope you check out all the other books I mentioned and that they inspire you to see what could be. Thanks a lot and have a great day.